I am soul, and soul is eternal, and it is truth. I am soul in the body to play my part. So I have to use my eternal roots and scars in my thoughts, words, actions, and relationships. They become spiritual actions, spiritual relationships, and there will not be any karmic bondage. Look at everyone as a soul, but also as a deity. Men and women in different costumes, but they are deities. There will be pure feelings towards everyone. When we look at the idols of deities, there is a lot of bhavna, pure feelings. In the same way, there will be pure feelings towards each other. It's a very, very good experience, and we should experiment it to see how it helps us to emerge from eternal sanskars to original sanskars of golden age, of deity world. Because at confluence stage we are preparing to go to golden age. So there are beautiful feelings of being a deity, divine, pure, Satopradhan. Take drishti from Baba. To emerge your root sanskars of the deity form. Let the divinity emerge and beautiful feelings and the self respect of divinity is experienced.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. So today we'll be doing for January 5th, Raazyukt, Altruism. Now we'll be listening from Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. We all having many, many different feelings, different experiences, and all are very, very good experiences, good feelings, because each one of us, we are discovering our roots and scars. As we are listening to roots and scars of Brahma Baba, we are also able to identify in ourselves our roots and scars, and we find they are same. They are emerging in us, and whole feeling, level of consciousness, everything is changing. Someone had asked the difference between truth as T capital and then what is true or truth. For God, we always say truth, conscient and blissful, Sat. So truth is Sat, truth. And other truth is Sach. So there is Sat, and this is called Sach. Because in Hindi we have more vocabulary. So truth and true, Sat and Sach. So Brahma Baba, with his intimate conversation and reflections, wanted to discover and be that truth. So when the knowledge that I am soul was given, he recognized that this is true, that I am truth, that soul is eternal. So soul is eternal, so soul is truth. Then he started with integration, finding that how different it is when it comes to thinking in soul consciousness, speaking in soul consciousness, interacting with each other in soul consciousness. So this spiritual attitude, spiritual vision, start giving the feeling of truth. And then to use it in practical life, to apply that truth is that integration of being in body, but awareness that I am soul. And then from there, so every step, no, we already have 4. Today we're talking about 5th. That because God is truth, then I am truth. So one of the natural qualities that this whole feeling of uh, that I don't have to get return reward for my own self. Altruism, but also when we look at Brahma Baba's life, you saw that how he had a very, very uh, good personality in physical way also. Was tall, was fair, was straight, and very elegant. Had very, very loveful family, wife, 3 children, good business where he was making a lot of good money. His social connections were good, high level, very decent. He was known as a charitable person in the society. He gave lot of money to parents who couldn't afford to get their daughters married. But also he was a very good devotee, had many, many gurus. He will invite many gurus at his home. So he had everything. So when he realized what is truth, then whatever he had, his fortune or his efforts, he wanted to use it in worthwhile way, invest it in God's service. Many buildings, sold his business for money, which he used for so many years for sustenance of this unlimited big family. And there were so many who followed, many, many, many good families, and then they became a family or community of 300 of them. But today I realize that what are the attainments if we are clear that when I find truth, when I know what is truth, and I am truth, then what are the attainments one receives? And those attainments we are not aware before. So today I was really thinking about that what Brahma Baba's attainments were at the conference age. What are our attainments at conference age? It's not reward. So when we realize we are souls, we start experiencing peace. I become peaceful. My nature becomes very calm, sweet. So I share with others like I'm sweet, I'm lovely, I'm very peaceful. So the atmosphere becomes peaceful. Relationships are peaceful. Here's a long list. One day I will talk about it. That we all also have all these attainments. So we start serving through our attainments. It's not just knowledge. Right? If I tell anyone you are peaceful soul, so that person will look at my face, right? Do I look peaceful? Or if in front of him a situation happened, but if I stayed peaceful, I'm serving with my attainments. Right? So first we serve, or what we call offer, everything for God's service, from which I am sustained, many sustain. But then I start having attainments. knowledge, understanding is a big attainment. So then I start sharing those attainments. And more I share attainments, they keep increasing. I really, really always keep Brahma Baba in front of me. His body was healthy until end. His mind was very stable, peaceful. His intellect had a very clear understanding. His memory was excellent. To have that, all these are attainments, isn't it? Which generally, when it comes to in Lokic world, some have good wealth, not health, but he had everything, all attainments from God for all his elevated actions. So it's not question of desire or I want return or reward, but rather all attainments for the soul from God. Like that day Baba said in Murli, your property is contentment, inheritance is contentment. So contentment is from where? From all attainments, right? And your nature or personality is that you are a very pleasant person. In English only it was satisfaction, but in Hindi it was prasanta. Prasanta means very pleasant person. Remains happy, joyful, so very pleasant, prasanta. So these are attainments, isn't it? So each one of us, I think, every Baba's child has root sanskar of serving, and that also altruistic serving, because we are not looking for those kinds of rewards, but attainments which become eternal, attainments which are everlasting, attainment which is my fortune. So each one of us should actually make a list of my attainment. I was looking at Brahma Baba's attainment. And of course, when I look at my own self, I say, wow, thank Baba. All attainments. And one of the beautiful experience few souls are sharing. Yesterday there was this question of obedient and serviceable, and that if I have faith in Baba and I am serving, and then I am also obedient, so I am told to do certain things. So everything gets done. It was very easy. So I said, Karan Karavan Har Baba makes it happen. So then I realized that whatever praise we are singing of God, miracles we talk about, God gives us the experience. We all are experiencing, many share beautiful experiences. But if I have doubt, I have little desires, I have temporary attainments, desire for temporary attainments, then you don't experience God's all the praise in practical life at confluences. And today I was telling souls when they were sharing, I don't realize how all this was done in a day. I said, Baba is Karan Karavanhar. So it's not you looking for reward, but what God does through each one of us as an instrument is what our attainment is. Not only that, but then his task gets done and I am able to see how he is Karan Karamanar, and the miracles really. Each one of you should think in your life how Baba is in practical giving us all these surprises, presence. So this practice is helping us to find our own roots and scars. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, dear Mohini Didi and the whole family. Greetings. I'm back again with more questions. And I was surprised actually. I was so involved in listening, totally forgot I was coming up to ask questions now. Mohini Didi, I was thinking that, we are told that this is the time for us to follow Baba's footsteps. And every day we take big sanskars that are very, very huge for us to become like this. Today's altruism, to become fully altruistic, it's kind of a big footstep. And I was watching myself walking in Baba's footstep, and I thought, we don't have the same size of shoes. And when Baba walks, he leaves big, big prints in his footsteps. And when I put my foot into it, it seems it's a little bit smaller than Baba's size on the sand, maybe when I'm following his footsteps. So I have a few questions so you can help us to become like Brahma Baba in that sanskar of being altruistic. And one of the questions I was having in mind is, if we think of this sanskar of altruism, and I understand how you describe the qualities of Brahma Baba, do you think we can be truly altruistic before being karmatit? Or is it almost at the end that karmatit stage will make us totally 100% naturally altruistic?
I think, Brother Eric, I think each one of us, we have that root sanskar. When you think of that, why anyone will have full day job, still wants to do God's service, still wants to be loving, and so root sanskar is there because, I can directly ask you, what are you expecting? You're not expecting anything physical, material, right? What you're expecting is just experience God's love and share that God's love with others. I would say that 90%, your foot is also quite big, like Brahma Baba. You can put exactly, match it very properly. I think each one of us, really, if we look at, there is this root sanskar in us, like Brahma Baba. And it's so interesting that every day, at least I find, looking at anyone, I said, well, oh, that soul also has that root sanskar, right? Only maybe just to remind, yes, I am truth. I found the truth and I am the same truth. So this will help. If you, tomorrow is the day for the practice, look at that and see what you think, what I'm saying. And then as I said this, I discovered that, yes, we have lot of attainments, right? They're not reward or anything, but lot of attainments, at the confluence stage. And even if we talk of golden age, that I'm going to become this, because Baba gives us the aim, right? That originally you were deities, now you have to become deities again. So like today, it was this whole thing of practice. And you don't need practice because you start seeing everyone as a deity. In path of bhakti, we used to say, see God in everyone. But now we say, look at the divinity. And that divinity is there, but the acquired sanskars, actually they're not very deep. Sometimes we think they are very, very strong. But see what happens, a sanskar emerge, let's say, of body consciousness, a sanskar emerge. But then it gets merged also, right? But only what we have to do, as much we emerge our root sanskars, other sanskars will stay merged. That's why we're doing 31 days. And it's so interesting. Whole day our intellect is, oh, I have to do my homework. I have to write. I have to reflect. No, little bit intellect start going in different, not logic things, but still like, and immediately thought comes, oh, I have to do this. And I thought that's very good that intellect is pulled now towards the practice. So I think we all have to look at the self-respect. My root sanskars are like Brahma Baba. I feel that way. I think you are also like that, no? You
By,
agree?
by listening to you, if you keep talking, I'm starting to feel like that. But if I stop listening to you, I don't know what happened. I'm starting to feel different. But there is definitely, where I know this feeling sometimes of not being good enough is when we listen to the amazing details that Baba brings in the Avyakt Murlis when he describes sanskar or quality, and he makes it so complete. Like if you're number one, like you were sharing yesterday on the rosary, number one in the rosary always, like from birth, they never had any waste thought. They've been perfect even before they were born, I think. And when I was listening to Gyan in the beginning, I was so depressed because Baba will mention this is the first category, and I would say, I don't think I'm there. Second category, I would say, I don't think I'm there either. Third category, I said, I'm not in third either. There must be a fourth, but there was never a fourth category. So I was a bit discouraged in the beginning. Then I started to be part of the third. Now I'm starting to feel sometimes I'm in the second. So we're improving. But in terms of altruism, you mentioned also a few days ago that I and my, they do still interfere. And is it not that if I and my is interfering when we do service, are we not less altruist at the time than if there is no I and mine?
Because, some of it's not everyone has that because, I think all of us have this quality of going beyond I and mine because we want to share with everyone. We are so benevolent. All the time we think about bringing benefit to someone, bringing benefit to someone. I think this is so normal in us. But little bit comparison of this one got more respect. What about my role? This one role is bigger than me. Those subtle things do emerge. But if we know that, I don't know, I feel that whatever you are, you will get it, right? Respect is not something I asked for. But if I stay in self-respect, and I remember one time Baba said very nicely, if you become instrument, even go beyond the awareness of being instrument, and as much you move forward towards the stage of perfection, you will get love and respect. So it's not question of demanding, but definitely this I and mine is more about my position or where I get to sit first row or second row or third row. We kind of start qualifying ourselves based on that. But if we really remain in self-respect of, I am what I am, and you get that. So yeah, this I and mine in service, and it's a different kind, but we have to conquer that also and become
Because,
really, yeah.
because at the same time, we want to become, we want to have that attitude of altruism, but also we want to inspire others to go beyond that limitation sometimes in service when we hear some saying, I give the course to so many, or they feel good because of what they have done. So that also is a attitude we want to go beyond, right? To move towards a more altruistic stage.
One is to say, I gave course. Recently, someone said, "Oh, I gave birth to 5 Brahmins." I said, "Can you give birth to Brahmins?" I never heard that. What she meant that they took course and 5 became Brahmin. So I was just joking with her. I said, "No, there other language you can use." She said, "I was so proud," and I said with so much joy. I said, "That's okay. If you only have happiness is all right, but not have that consciousness, because if even one disappear, you will be very disappointed. Then you will say 4 are left. But if you keep on consciousness, they are Baba's children, give good wishes, and remain free from this I, that I gave course. They became Brahmin. So she, for the language she used, I was first time I heard someone saying, "I gave birth to 5 Brahmins." And when she realized, she didn't like it, but it does happen. And I think that if there is realization, then people keep going more and more beyond, which is necessary to be unlimited.
In Lukic world, if they give birth to quintuplets, they have an article in the newspaper.
Yeah.
So she may be in the Purity magazine for success in giving course to 5 Brahmins. The one thing, though, that I find interesting in this aspect of Karan Karavanhar, I'm wondering, how do you feel yourself when your level of serving, cooperating, being obedient, and now being altruistic, when you have that feeling of serving, do you have sometimes the feeling of really being clear that this is Baba doing through you? Do you think that maybe this is when really altruism is clear, that you really feel Baba is doing through you?
See, when we saying through, the way you expressing is, but this is like when there is pure mind, pure feelings, faith, obedience, all these, the energy of Baba works through me. Like someone said, I had so many things to do and I didn't, so I called her and gave her a few more things to do, not knowing. So today she said, I did workshop, I attend evening session and did everything what had to be done, which you told me. And I think, and I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel, how did it happen? So I said, Baba, Karan Karamanhar. Like for this Avyakti Parivar, we don't see, we can't say that Baba is doing through us or all that. But this whole energy, you can feel that Baba wants us to be like him. Baba wants us to complete the journey. Baba wants us to be together in a family and make us also in a way tireless too. So I think this energy of Baba, no, purity and love, and so when we say Baba does through us, is like whole energy which comes in us from Baba and gets things done. So it's not that Baba came and cooked or Baba came, not came, but it was Baba's energy, Baba's power, Baba's love. Some that kind of energy is flowing and things keep happening in a very, very natural, unlimited, in a big way. So I was also thinking, but there is the time now also to see miracles of God, no? Where impossible just becomes possible or difficult become easy. I think it will happen more and more because Baba has to manifest himself as he is through our lives, no, in our lives for his task. So there will be more and more such experiences. I think if we pay attention, think about it, you might become more aware that how Karan Karavan are gets things. So I always, sometimes there are certain things, I just say, well, that Baba will take care. And it does happen. Means you try best and then we say, okay, it's Baba's task, Baba will take care. So then someone becomes cooperative or situation, things start happening in a very different way. Invoking Baba is important.
I was reflecting on that as well, because I felt sometimes when Baba says he's Karavanharan and you have to be Karanhar, the one to do it, I really felt that by seeing and trying to see what Baba is kind of his energy is doing through others and in the world, I think it makes us very humble and very, our focus is on Baba, not even on the task, not even on the, someone may tell us, oh, it was very nice, you did very well. But if I'm aware that I know Baba's energy was there, even the praise doesn't really affect me because I feel I saw Baba doing. And during Christmas, I was joking with Baba, and when I was listening to that song from John Lennon, Imagine, and it's a beautiful song everybody sings, and I was asking Baba in meditation, did you compose that one as well? did you did you give it touching? Because it's a song that brings feeling in the whole world for so many years. And I suddenly felt maybe Baba is doing so much more than we don't know. He's touching so many people, so many artists. And at the end, maybe we will have an awareness that, oh, you composed that song too. That was very nice. You did very well. So I like this feeling of energy of Baba and the magic of Baba being revealed more and more.
Yeah,
One thing,
this will
one
happen.
question,
Yes.
one question though, Sister Mone, is how can we, because I find that the little obstacle could be about selfishness. And, you know, Baba sometimes makes it such that he says you have to go beyond desires of the self when you serve. But at the same time, he's pushing us with always saying you have to serve because on the basis of service, you will claim a high status. Is that altruistic to do service to get a high status?
Because he needs souls, no, for those status.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he needs someone to become, second number Lakshmi Narayan, third number. So he has to encourage us, kind of tempt us. I think if it is wish that we should get high status, we should make efforts for it. Because there is some kind of accomplishment of his task, claiming high status, because the front rows has to be occupied, then second one, third one. But if we don't aim for first one, then I think we are disappointing him in a way. So that's not being selfish, actually. That is more fulfilling God's task in a way where he says, in kingdom is being established and I need souls who could claim high status. We should take offer and say, yes, yes, Baba, I will. So I don't know. It's not a desire. I always see Baba wants us to be like that. So we should become that. So that's okay. There's nothing selfish in that.
But how
So
did you process? How did you process all these? And I'm not saying it's not good. I have a way to enjoy those lines. But in a Murli, very often in Sakar Murlis, when Baba keeps saying you want to be Raja, not Praja, if you don't do more, you will have low status. You should have high status. So sometimes it's kind of pushing us a little bit to say, okay, I have to do more service so I can get a higher status and I don't sweep the floor in Golden Age. And so I think this is sometimes a bit delicate to be really altruistic.
I think that also is very inspiring that that's what my parents wants me to be. That's what my teacher wants. Every teacher will always say, I want to see number one students. I want to do brilliant students, because that's, even Sadhguru will say, I want such followers. So I think that what Baba is doing is somewhere touching us so that we invoke this energy that I have to make efforts where, I could claim those status. Yeah, sometimes I also, it's not pushing, but I also say, not for myself, but some might be feeling bad too, that, oh, I have to do this. Maybe I won't claim status. So what will I be doing? So I always feel that when Baba says something, it's very, very sacred and there must be some significance. why he's saying all that, So he's inspiring us to be sovereigns, He like all the sovereigns. He says, you all can become sovereigns, self-sovereigns, and then you will claim high status in golden age. So I don't see this as pushing, but I see more as inspiring us to be. And service, again, we service, we see more, okay, how there are some people who count, like in our class, how many numbers, but service is so natural, Anyone who comes in contact with us, some will come and become students, some will remain in contact, and people get inspiration, So I don't see service as a separate subject. Then if you are a good student, others will be inspired. That's a service. If you are a good child, others will be inspired to be obedient like you. So it's really setting a good example so that others can also be inspired by us. Like Dadi Prakash Mani said, I always try to be present every day, be punctual, number one, so that others are inspired. So I think that there is nothing like, for us, I think I don't have desire to really be Lakshmi or Narayan. But if Baba wants to make me, then I have to say, yes, Baba, I will become. So he's offering us no status. So why don't we take it? No? Right?
I don't know if the aim of being altruistic is okay, or if you were to suggest what can help us to become more like Brahma Baba, if we want to follow him with that nature of altruism, what do you think we should pay attention to, and what we should try to remove from ourselves so we can increase our level of altruism in the way we serve and the way we are, like Brahma Baba? I'm thinking about the sanskar, to really acquire the same sanskar,
It's
or
like
develop it if we have it already.
whatever charitable action Baba did, and he will say the reward should be shared by all. So it's unlimited, and sharing with everyone that what I have or what action I have done, let the reward be shared by everyone. No, you have heard a very common slogan, Baba said, for benefit of all. And the reward should be for benefit of all. Like I feel that, let's say at home you are 10. If all 10 are happy, it will be a happy home. Even if one is not happy, energy is not same, right? So if we have this thought for unlimited and attitude, our words, our drishti, I think that takes us from this limited desire for the self. Let everyone enjoy. Let everyone be happy. Let everyone win. So I think Baba always looked at all the children, all the souls. And that's why yesterday when we were talking about different kind of capacities, Baba had so many who had literally no capacity in a broader way. But he always gave them something where they could sit and do something, or do something where they felt very good that Brahma Baba gave me this assignment, or Brahma Baba asked me to be a security person because he couldn't do anything. So everyone felt so much joy the way he looked at them, what they could do, and give them that, instead of that everyone, our expectation same from everyone. So many examples I have. So I just feel that our attitude, our feelings and love for everyone should make us very, very much where we think of benefit of all.
That's a beautiful way to conclude that that focus. I think it will help us to see that in Brahma Baba and to bring it out, to emerge in that sanskar even more enough. So thank you so much, Mohini Didi. It's lovely to focus on these big foot of Brahma Baba, and thank you for giving us the blessing to have big feet like him. it's good.
Yes, I think that we shouldn't be overconfident, but don't underestimate. We
Right.
should try to look at, oh, yes, I'm surprised. I'm so good. I'm sur- For me, I give myself many surprises. Oh, I'm so good. Look, I thought about everyone. I'm caring about everyone. So it's okay to, no, Baba say great souls. So feel elevated, feel great. And that's not ego, but that's where intoxication of confluence is, belonging to God and such a family, an instrument for such beautiful tasks, right? Okay.
Lovely. Thank
Namaste.
you. And this Gayatri will bring us this amazing sentence again. There are like beautiful mantras that really resonate in our hearts the whole day. So thank you for bringing the magic sentence for tomorrow. Sister Gayatri, welcome. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Eric. And that was a really nice interview. And ending up with whatever I do for the whole world. I do it for you, as your singer would say. So before I give you the point for today, and I know I have to be fast, I'd like to read an experience, short, of course, by someone from Israel. I think her name is Rachel or Raquel. I'm not sure how you would pronounce it. And she was addressing the whole idea of the homework, taking her back to herself. And this is what she says. I chose option 1 to try it out, the traffic control, and create for myself some guidance about who is my teacher. And to my surprise, the first thought, the first words were a question to Baba, whether it is selfish to say that my teacher is me. Certainly, Baba is my teacher. He is the one who gives me, who teaches and reminds me of everything I forgot. But at the same time, it is his light that illuminates me for who I am, the real one, who I am, the authentic one, the same I who want to be, the same I who want to live. I am the same truth that the refined voice called the divine conscience, the conscience of the soul. I'm learning to hear more and more and learning to live according to it in the natural way, without pressure and without fear. So this was her experience. And I thought that it really matched the first part of the interview, Eric, when you were saying to Sister Mohini, okay, Baba says this, but is it, can I really aspire to it? And I think what Rachel or Raquel is saying, that to do that, maybe you also have to become your own teacher. So you teach yourself the way the teacher is teaching you. So could we have the slides, please, for tomorrow? Yeah, thank you. So tomorrow's root sanskara is altruism. And you heard Sister Mohini talk about altruism. And it is the 3 aspects to altruism in relation to Brahma Baba, is that he had a selfless awareness, a selfless awareness. He had a benevolent attitude, and he had an unlimited capacity to care. So I think the 2, benevolent attitude and unlimited capacity to care, is easy to understand. But I think the selfless awareness is what Sister Mohini spoke about when she says he even went beyond being an instrument. So it was truly selfless. And so could we now have the quote that we'll be concentrating on? So connected to altruism, here is the quote that we will be using tomorrow in unity together, all of us. So the quote is, "You are so altruistic because you are the truth. Your only desire is true and selfless service." So this we will take in our contemplation, our reflection, and in our journaling. And we'll emerge being truly altruistic souls, following in those big footprints of Brahma Baba. Thank you.
Welcome to a Vyakti journey.
Adi Dev is a unique life story. It begins in the mid-1930s in Sindh, a region of northwestern India. This was the time when all the religious practices of Hindus had degraded from its highest form. In such a community lived one individual in the city of Hyderabad. He was very different from the rest. He was called by the name Dada, and his full name was Dada Lekhraj. Dada Lekhraj was born in 1876 in Sindh to the Kriplani family. Dada had many specialities, such as his fluency in Sindhi, Hindi, and English. He was well versed in many scriptures. He had this beautiful art of writing letters, and in the business career, he was gifted in creating new designs of jewelry. Dada was a great devotee of Narayan. Once, there was a picture in the market of Narayan and Queen Lakshmi, where Queen Lakshmi was massaging Narayan's legs as if she was his maid. But Dada did not like this picture. Dada felt that the capacity of a woman is no less than of a man. Thus, they should be treated equally. Dada went around to find the painter of this picture and asked him to repaint this to show the equal elevation of this divine couple. Once Dada turned 60, he began to receive indescribable experiences within himself. All the worldly attachments started to drop away. One day, while Dada was sitting within a group of his friends, he began to get a very strange experience. He went to his own room and he started feeling a divine intoxication. He went beyond all the body consciousness. He was a pure soul, pure light, lost in an ocean of bliss. Then he finally had a revelation, a vision of the four-armed Vishnu. Dada thought that this vision was with the grace of his guru. He went to his guru after and lovingly thanked him for the vision. But looking at Guru's face, he realized that this was beyond the Guru's power. And this is when Dada's mind started to turn towards the Supreme Soul. Some days later, Dada went to another location for his business. He used to go through the glooms of trees and sit in a quiet place for reflections. Every day he was having unique and new experiences. He felt that he was putting all the puzzle pieces together. Dada used to write letters about these experiences to his family. In few of his letters he wrote, "I got the key. I got it. I got it. Whatever was to be attained, I now have. Now what remains to be achieved?" After a few days, Dada received a double revelation. First, he received a vision of Jyotirlingam Shiv Paramatma, the Supreme Soul Shiva. Another vision was of the Great Destruction. Dada later received many more visions. He received a vision of his uncle Mulshan's soul leaving his body. He saw how soul moved all the way to toes and back up in the forehead and left the body. He also received a vision of four-armed Vishnu, where he heard the voice, "I am a four-armed one, and you are that." After a few days, Dada's guru came to visit his place. The guru was lecturing the class, and Dada got up to leave. Dadi Brajendra, his daughter-in-law, followed him and saw that Dada's eyes had become completely red. His whole face had become red, and even the room was illuminated with a reddish glow. Dadi, looking at the scene, also started to feel bodiless. Then finally, a voice came from Dada's mouth.
Nijananda Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham Jnana Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham Prakasha Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham.
Dada was in deep silence after this revelation. He fell into deep, deep thoughts. Dada finally reached to a conclusion that God, Shiva, himself had taken support of his body to create a new divine world. Dada continued to have inner contemplations and unlocking the true knowledge of Gita. Dada started to practice soul consciousness. He gave everyone the knowledge of being a soul. He wrote it many times. I am a soul. Jashoda is a soul. Radhika is a soul. He wrote it over and over again until it was fixed in his mind. This truly made Dada realize that he is the first man, Adidev, who was being recreated in God's image.
Adipita Prajapita Brahma Baba सृष्टि के सृजनहार जग के पालनहार जगत के तारणहार
Om Shanti, this is me again. And I just wanted to inform the whole of the Avyakti Parivar family that tomorrow at Amrit Vela, and I know you start at 3:30, so they would be 3:30 to 4. And then at 4 o'clock, I would come on and be with you, and we would practice the contemplation on the quote on altruism tomorrow morning. And the reason for this is that it would be nice for us to do it using the quote as a meditation commentary, but like the meditation commentary that not just go from one thought to the other thought to the other thought, and maybe take us more on an upward spiral with each thought, and of course being with Baba. But the quote will take us deeper into ourselves, and then deeper into experiencing Baba's remembrance, and deeper into experiencing that sanskara of altruism. So I would be doing the contemplation using the quote as a commentary. And each time I say it, it will just be silence, no music, just the quote, and I will repeat it. And each time I say it, it will be the quote, then it will be silence. And in the silence, you would take those words, what you heard, whatever you heard, and you are going to take it into the heart of the soul, the intellect, the preet in the buddhi, the love in the intellect. So the intellect will take it there, and then the intellect will also take it to Baba. And then you will hold it, and then allow yourself to feel it, to experience it. And then you will hear it again. And then in the 2 or 3 minutes after that follows, you will take it into your experience. And what I will be doing in those 3 minutes that you are taking it into your experience, and I'm asking you to also do it, is to hold that shanti, to hold that silence inside of you and outside of you, because we know that Baba enters into spaces that are full of that abject silence, of that soul conscious silence, and he's then able to touch and signal us with beautiful experiences of this sanskara, this root sanskara of altruism. So please be there for this experiment, and I'm sure we'll have a wonderful Amrit Vela together. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Sister Gayatri.
Om Shanti, everyone. Good night. So we are like 24 hours in remembrance. Everyone, many of you are sharing your remembrance is more consistent. You think of Baba, you feel Baba. That's the aim, right? To stay close to Baba, and Baba stays close to us. So thank you, Baba, the family, and good night, everyone.